You wanna go? Let's go. What's up, everybody? Brian here with another episode of Fishing Control. Come on. So today is July the 2nd, and tomorrow is my birthday. So, sorry about that sun. So, if everything goes according to plan, you will be seeing this video tomorrow on my birthday. And tomorrow being my birthday, as you could probably guess, I'm planning to do some fishing. So today is going to be all about prep. We're going to slow it down a little bit. And we're going to go over some stuff that I do to get ready to go out to the beach. Walking the dog real quick before we go on our adventures. I thought we'd maybe just kind of vlog style today. We gotta go get some bait. We gotta go get some stuff for dinner. We got to tie up some leaders. We've got to sort out whatever tackle I think I'm gonna want to take with me tomorrow, so I can make sure I'm only taking what I need and not carrying extra stuff, but that also that I've got everything I need. And then tonight we're gonna go ahead and tie up the rods and get them in the truck. Get everything ready to go. Even go ahead and get the cooler ready, because I think we're gonna get up at like 4 in the morning and head out to Tybee. If you're familiar with Tybee, which a lot of you folks really are, you're familiar with some of these parties, unofficial parties they keep having down there. Shala, don't go too far. She listens so good. Don't go too far, buddy. Don't get dirty either. No, you're a dog, you're gonna get dirty. So it's you know, July 4th is one of the busier, crazier weekends down there. So it is taking my life into my own hands a little bit just by going out there. It's supposed to be the same people that did the Orange Crush party are doing Turnt Island, I think what they're calling it. I haven't really heard much, but my plan is to get in early and get out early, so we can try and avoid some of that craziness. We're gonna get in there before sunrise. We're gonna fish up until about 8 o'clock or so. They start charging for parking at 8 o'clock, so I like to be out of there. Shallow, let's go. Slow rolling it. So anyway, yeah, get in early, get out early. Try and beat any of the craziness, any of the traffic. We'll see how that goes. As long as I can get some fishing in before the beaches crowd up. I would imagine there will still be some people out there from the night before. It's that kind of place, and that's all right. So, gosh, it's hot out here. I think it was up to like 96 or 97 earlier. So that's the other reason I like to fish early, man. It's just, what are you doing inside that fence, dude? Come back here. Come here. Come here. Come on, ding dong. Come on. Come on. Get. Dog's just walking through other people's yards like it's cool. Go to the house. Misbehaving. Anyway, let me get inside. I'm schwitzing or whatever it is. I need to get this wiped off of my face And then we're gonna check out a seafood place first that's right up the street. See about some cut bait and some shrimp. And then, you know, if all else fails, Publix always has me covered, so that's probably where we'll wind up getting some anyway. Come on, buddy. It's so hot. Let's get inside. So right up here at the top of my neighborhood is a whole bunch of cool stuff. I'm like 2 blocks from my house, 3 blocks from my house. And I've got an Advanced Auto Parts, I've got a McDonald's, I've got a used tire place, a Salvation Army thrift store, and Bobo Seafood. So we're gonna scoot in there and see what they got in the seafood case real quick. Yeah, let's scope it out. If I can even get a parking space, I might have to go to Publix just because I can hardly ever get a parking space in here. They're too good. You know what? It ain't really that important to get it here. We might just go with the convenience factor. And there it is. Publix in all its splendor. Park over here away from the folks a little bit. All right, so hang on. It's hot in my car and my AC is broken and it sucks. It's like 90 degrees outside right now, so having no AC is a big bummer. But so right next door to the Publix here is one of the better liquor stores in town as far as selection, for sure. And I swung in and got me a bottle of bourbon for tomorrow. We won't get too far into that, but so now we got groceries and everything, so we're heading back to the house. Now it's just a matter of doing some things to get ready. We're gonna load up the cart as though we were ready to go out to the beach now, just to make sure we got everything together. And then, yeah, you will get to see everything I do to get ready to go out to the beach. Looking forward to the fall when all the redfish start swimming back through. There's probably some out there right now, but they're not really abundant, so I don't really target them this time of year. I mean, usually on my birthday I've been known to put out some big cut baits and stuff just to try and make something big happen. But tomorrow I really just want to focus on volume. I want to catch a lot of fish. So we're fishing shrimp to start out, and if we can get some fresh cut bait like some spot or something, that always works good for just a lot of bites. Yeah, that's basically what we're gonna do. We're just gonna have some fun. It's my birthday, you know. It's gonna be my birthday morning, so I won't be getting into the bourbon yet. That'll be for later on. I'm gonna get together with Matka, fellow DJ from Savannah down here, and we're gonna play some music. We're gonna bounce around. We're gonna go to Portal and play some video games. We're gonna go to Corleone's. I'm wearing the shirt, and see the wife and have a cocktail or two, maybe some lunch. The bar there is excellent. The food there is fantastic. So definitely swing in Corleone's if you're hungry in Savannah. It's right there at the corner of MLK and Broughton. You can't miss it. If you do any of the tours, they'll probably point it out to you. Anyway, we're almost back to the house. And out here in the backyard, strawberry plants and stuff, and a lemon balm plant that I revived. Did a little whacking. Didn't get that far. But here's the cart. Still got a couple things on it from the last outing. Let's pull it over and get it all figured out. Dog's kiddie pool. Comment below if you'd like to see the dog play in the kiddie pool. That could be a fun video for everybody. So this is my cart. We'll turn around this way. This is the way I usually have it, facing me on the beach. This is the, what the heck is it? The Offshore Angler Deluxe cart. They have a new one out that's got the tires like the Fishing Mate tires. Might need to try and get some. Very soon we'll be doing a little bit of a maintenance video on this sucker. I'm going to take the wheels off and clean the dudes real quick, the axles or whatever. But this is how I have it set up. And out here in the backyard, strawberry plants and stuff, and a lemon balm plant that I revived. Did a little whacking. Didn't get that far. But here's the cart. Still got a couple things on it from the last outing. Let's pull it over and get it all figured out. Dog's kiddie pool. Comment below if you'd like to see the dog play in the kiddie pool. That could be a fun video for everybody. So this is my cart. We'll turn around this way. This is the way I usually have it, facing me on the beach. This is the, what the heck is it? The Offshore Angler Deluxe cart. They have a new one out that's got the tires like the Fishing Mate tires. Might need to try and get some. Very soon we'll be doing a little bit of a maintenance video on this sucker. I'm going to take the wheels off and clean the dudes real quick, the axles or whatever. But this is how I have it set up. This is normally where my cooler opens up. That's why I don't have a rod holder right here. This is where my cooler usually opens up. That's why I don't have a rod holder right here. This is my rinse water. I broke another one of these Marathon rod holders. Don't really like them very much. This guy's got the clip from a GoPro on it. And I always take a chair with me. We'll be figuring all that out. So let's start setting things up here. Taking the chair. Don't need the easy up because it's gonna be so early. Won't really be any sun. I keep some of my stuff organized over here, a little bit under the awning. It's not really, but old chairs, easy up, spare rod holders, galoshes. I need to organize this a little better, but there was nothing here a little while ago, so this is an improvement anyway. But I don't think I need any of that this time. I just need to track down my small rod holders. Normally I put one rod right here in this holder because it's kind of close to the center of gravity. If a fish tries to pull on that, you'll have to pull the whole cart as opposed to towards the front or back where it could just pull the cart at an angle very easily. Big fish could pull it very easily. But right there at the tire, at the center of mass, I usually have the tackle bag. You'll see, we'll get there. Tackle bag will be in here. So yeah, let's look at this guy. Oh, you're actually not too bad. You don't stink either. A little sand, but that's fine. Yeah, you're actually in good shape. Pretty much ready to go. I was a good boy and cleaned it out last time, so that's awesome. But now the next thing we need to do is we need to rig up some rods. We're gonna rig the rods up, put them on the cart, and then and make sure that they're all squared away, that they have enough line on them and everything. And then the next thing is we'll tie up leaders, and we'll probably just talk about one or two of those, and then we'll go ahead and slap this video together, and then I'll spend the rest of the evening tying up some spare leaders. You know, that takes a while, so that's why, like, if you're planning on fishing multiple rods, it's good to go ahead and have a bunch of them tied up, or order them in advance if you're not trying to spend the time to tie them, if you got a bunch of family stuff to do and whatnot. Totally understandable. That's why people like Salty and Frisky fins all make great leaders to use. I'll link them in the description of this video. But let's get to that. Okay, so it's possible that I have some spare leaders in here already tied up. So let's check that first and see what we've got. Either way, my spare parts bin with some of my better spare parts is in here already, as well as a couple of leaders. I'm gonna move that over here. Here's my sinkers. We're gonna clean all these up too. Clean all this up a little bit before we go. But as well as my leaders from the last trip. So, as you may well know, I like to recycle parts. All this stuff is relatively inexpensive per leader, so we're going to cut the parts off of this and reuse most of this for this trip. All of this is fine, really. Yeah. Okay, so I found the other line. These are all the lines that I use. I basically love the Berkeley Vanish line. It has worked really well for me. And I use 3 strengths for everything, almost everything I do, including my freshwater fishing. But especially in the salt, I use 12, 17, and 20. Okay, so I was really hoping there would be more leaders in here. There's one. We're going to tie up another one of those. I'll show you how I'm going to do that real quick. I'm not even going to put the swivel or the snap swivel on it at first. I'm just going to show you how, as best I can, because this is some thinner line, how I make this one. Pull out a nice amount of line. Think about how much tag end I'm going to want to leave for whichever end, the top swivel end. So I'm going to give a nice amount of distance down to where I want my loop to be. That's maybe a foot plus. Some of that's going to work into this knot, most likely. It's just kind of how it goes, but you just make a loop, right? And for my whiting rigs, I like to keep them simple. It'll probably just be a single drop. But so I've just got a loop here, and then I'm going to loop this through 10 times. 2, 3, 10. It's kind of hard to see with this background. Okay, so then, okay. Starting to sound like Joe Pesci. Okay, here we go. So, I've got my loop with the twisties on it, and what you want to do is find one that is about in the middle, and then spread it apart, and then take, see how well you can see this, and then take, you probably can't see it at all because they're not really being a background, but you take the bottom of the loop between your 2 tag ends and you put it up through the middle, keeping your whole situation as straight as possible, which is a little bit of a trick. It takes a little bit of practice. And then you're going to use your mouth for this next part. I'm going to get it started with my mouth. You hold this with your mouth while you're pulling on the ends until just before it starts to tighten. You'll feel it starting to tighten down stop there and then re-grab it like this again so you can wet the knot. So I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So I've got it down. Again, I'm not sure how well you can see it, but it's there, right? I've still got a bunch of line up both tag ends here. I'm going to wet that sucker so it'll slide a little easier, and then work it down with my fingers and tension and whatnot. And then this will be what I'm left with. I'm left with this little barrel knot here with this nice size loop coming off the side. This was a really good one. Sometimes I make them smaller than I want. All my animals are really trying to prevent me from making this video, and it's kind of funny. It's frustrating, but it's kind of hilarious. So yeah, so there we go. Now I've got that with a nice amount of tag end here, probably 18 or 20 inches or something of tag end, so I can do a nice Palomar knot on the end to a swivel, or I can even just tie it straight to my main line if I feel like. See, the whole point of this is to reduce the amount of flash and trash that's on your rig. So if you want to, you could just uni to uni or whatever this straight to your main line, and then I'll definitely on the other end of this put at least a snap swivel. Sometimes I put 2 swivels. If the current is really high and there's a risk of this tumbling around a lot, I want to prevent as much twist as possible. So putting a swivel on both ends is ideal, but you can go without. You can uni to uni straight to your braid if you want to. But I usually go about even, and then I can shorten it if I want to, if I feel like I need to get it closer to the bottom, but you can't add any to it once you cut it. So about even, and then crap, and then cut it, and there we go. So I did go ahead and put a swivel on the tag end as well as a snap swivel on the weight end, and then I'm going to pick my bead or float out of here. I think green has been very popular with the fish teens lately. Yeah. That little guy right there, green. I think we'll go with him. There's a bead. A bead. So this is the fun part for sure. Let's see here. So that's the rig there. You'll see it when I tie things up. And that's basically the same process for everything. I'll show you all the rigs after I've tied all the rigs up and put rigs on the rods. We're running out of light, so I gotta go quick. So there you have it. Just as I'm starting to run out of light, I get them all rigged up and ready to go. I'll spend the rest of the evening tying some extra leaders. Here's my 8-foot rod. This is the holder that it lives in on the beach. Those are the 2 extra rod holders back there that go out in one direction or the other so that I can stand where all my main stuff is and watch all the rods at one time rather than look both directions and having to go back and forth. Keep them all one direction so I can see them all. I didn't talk about this setup and what I was going to do there, but this is 20-pound test line with a 20-pound fluoro leader. I probably should have done mono, but hey, I used what I had. It'll work fine with a topwater doodly-doo for early in the morning. And I may end up switching up to a DOA, which is the other reason, a DOA or a paddle tail or something subsurface, which is the other reason I have this fluoro on there. It'll work better for that. And then on these 2 rods, I went ahead and stuck with 17-pound test. Actually, it didn't stick with. I went with 12 for the original. I went with 17 for both of these instead of 20. Both set up with Pompano style floats. White, kind of fuckered up white, faded white on that one, orange on that one, and then orange on the bottom of this one and pink on the bottom of this one. So white and pink and orange with the smaller float on the bottom. Then in the cart I've got my tackle bag, of course, my rinse water. I'll have in the bait cooler, I tend to separate with grocery bags and Ziploc bags my snacks and drinks and stuff, and that seems to be fine. You know, I'm not loading this thing down with bait and fish. If it was fuller with water and bait and fish and stuff, then it'd maybe be more of a problem. But, and then over here, this tripod has a quick clip, so I can go from my chest mount to that thing if I want to use it, and my chair. And if you're going to use sand spikes, a rubber mallet can come in handy, especially around here with our hard sand beaches. But that being said, that's going to do it for this episode of Fishing Control. I need to get inside and get this edited so I can have something to upload for you guys tomorrow. And I'm going to head out to the beach at like 4 in the morning and try and get a few hours in before the crowds get crazy. It's crazy down here right now. Savannah and Tybee are packed with people. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, thanks for watching this episode of Fishing Control, and we'll see you on the next trip.